Hello everybody. It is Tuesday the 25th of March and I really don't know what I'm doing here anymore. But I must be a glutton for punishment. Really fond of bouncing myself off a brick wall. I just watched another video of those spaced out idiots, that are sitting there talking about interdimensional being and mathematical source codes and I don't know what. And it's all really far out there. And you need to be really spaced out in order to see it. Well, you would need to be completely spaced out to see it in that way. Because the truth is so much closer to home. The truth can be seen by a human being that is the fullness of its faculties, which they no longer are. They've lost it. They've lost their faculties to reason. The truth is so in your face. And it is, I don't know, I was thinking that's like me in the supermarket, forever asking the assistants where something is when I'm standing right in front of it. But that is exactly what it is. You cannot see what's right in front of your nose. And you're looking far out for the truth, where your gaze is being directed into another dimension. I mean, they actually have to direct you that far out now to divert your gaze from the truth. I mean, they must be in desperation if they really have to drive you that far out. The truth is right in front of you. Right. The truth is, God may use the knowledge of mathematical codes, of course he does, but in technology and whatever. But God creates with the Word. God creates with the Word. God creates a story, and that story becomes a reality in your head. A story that is a distortion from the truth. We are seeing it in this world, and it's no different, as below, so above. Actually, what we're seeing in the world is only the fruit of the Spirit. The Spirit comes first. The Word of God comes first. And what we see as material world is the outcome. And if you cannot reason the Spirit, you can know it in the outcome because you're experiencing it. And then your reason should really kick in, which for many it doesn't, because they think it's separated. They think there's a separation between the spirit and the material. There isn't. One is the outcome of the other, and they're directly linked, connected. There's no separation. So, people talking about like the synagogue of Satan, those interdimensional beings, and what they're doing to us. So what are they doing to us? What is it actually God is doing? And those are beings. We're not talking about the Creator. Those are beings. The biblical gods are beings. What are they doing to us? In the beginning, and here again, I am the Alpha and the Omega. What was in the beginning will be in the end. We will have gone full circle if we're nuts enough to do it. In the beginning, we were in the will of God, the God of the Bible. Now, what is this God? God is spirit. In the first, everything starts with spirit. It is something that is born out of the being, spirit born out of the being. Thought, a desire, an intention. And the Spirit of God is the will, the desire, the intention to subdue nature, to rule over it, and to have dominion over worlds. That is God. That is the Spirit of God. And that Spirit will look for knowledge that can serve it, to bring that intention into a reality. That is all it is. It is straightforward. It is a spirit that wants to subdue true nature and wants to have dominion over this world. Yeah, and this whole thing is biblical. What is happening right now is biblical. Because there's a game plan in here. That's a blueprint for world dominion. And they're following the game plan. They've always followed the game plan. That's why things might take slightly different forms. But in the core, it's always the same thing. They dress it up differently, so you think you're in a different thing. You're not. It is the same Spirit, the same God that is doing the whole thing right till the end. Because He will come and have dominion over this world, apparently, in this book. So, and really, Genesis is a great blueprint for the way to have world dominion. Take them into the wilderness. Take them out of their surroundings, where they cannot sustain themselves. Make them dependent. It took an entire generation, because the knowledge of what was before had to be gone. They had to be indoctrinated into a new story. Again, into a new story of who they were and what they are in. That is what is happening there. And it is only when they had lost all knowledge of what they really are that they were allowed out the other side, because they were doing the will of God, full on slaughter, destroying entire cities, bashing babies' heads against stones, killing everything that had a pulse. No longer human. That's not human. But they were no longer that. They had been changed. They had been changed. They had been evolved into a different being. From something that knew good and bad in the beginning. In the beginning, the very first time, they were ordered to go into the land and take it over. Their humanity spoke against it. There was fear. Fear of what? Fear of giants? No, that wasn't it. Again, misdirection. It was fear of going up against the 10 Commandments that they were given only 1 minute around the corner. You shall not kill. You shall not take that which belongs to somebody else. That was the law. And to us, as human beings, that is good. Yeah? And don't do to your neighbor what you don't want to be done to yourself. You don't want a whore to come and take it off you. You know that as bad. It's just as bad when you do it to somebody else. We know that. So they still knew that. It took an entire generation in the wilderness before they had forgotten that that is actually the truth. They have forgotten who they are, what the truth, a human being's truth, actually is. Yeah? And that was by being led around in circles, being made dependent, losing orientation, forgetting who they are, being made dependent on whatever led them. I mean, Jesus apparently said, you know what, God would give you like serpents and stones, would give serpents and stones to their children. Well, at that point, again, a little bit one-sided, because he seems to have conveniently forgotten the manna from heaven. Yeah? Stick and carrot. Stick and carrot. Oh, the carrot was there. Yeah? Oh, they were given glory. Do you not remember the goodness of God when He gave you manna from heaven? Yeah, well, then you have to forget that God led you into that shit situation in the first place. What is happening right now is biblical. If they destroy our cultures, yeah, make us forget who we are, and we are all different from each other. That is part of nature. Not everything is the same. It's diversity. That is truth. That is nature. Yeah? And they make us forget that. They try to destroy that, our distinct I amness as a person and as a culture. So they destroy that. They destroy knowledge. Education is there now to destroy knowledge, to dumb us down. Yeah, and the next generation will know what it has been taught. If there is no more memory of what was before, only the narrative that is given from above, then that will be the only truth. God and the mighty will create the truth that will be in the mind of the people. That is the world they think they're in. That will be the world they think they're in. So, destroy our ways of sustaining ourselves again in the wilderness. Destroy our agriculture. Destroy our way of sustaining ourselves. And manna will be given from heaven. Well, Bill Gates will give us his lap burgers, because there is no other food to sustain ourselves with. Again, they are leading us into the shit to start with, to then become our saviors, because that is how it works. That's biblical. They destroy our natural bodies. The ability of our natural body to regenerate itself, the knowledge of true healing, our immune system. And once we have no more natural life, we will be dependent on them to give us life, where their medicines, their chemicals, whatever, will keep us alive. That will be complete and utter dependency, where God and the mighty will give you life. And of course, all of that comes with a price, because they are not the creator. They are not that which gives out of pure altruism without judgment. They are not that. The price for life will be your complete and utter acquiescence. And you will do things like in the Old Testament that are no longer human. You will have changed into a zombie, an unfeeling zombie that will do the will of God and the mighty without being able to think for himself, without having the information that is needed to think for themselves. You can only know according to what you are, or what the knowledge you've been given. Yeah, another great example. I mean, I keep listening to Fifth Kind. God, the name has gone out of my head. It's gone clean out of my head. You might know who I'm talking about. This general is the Fifth Kind. He's got this thing about Asherah. He's got a real thing about Asherah. How great she was. You know, the heavens are not all bad. Oh, no. You know, they're Elohim, but some of them are really nice. Yeah, of course they are. They are all the will to have dominion. They all are. They are all in that spirit, and that they are one. They're working at different ways, but they are one in that spirit, and that is in the core their truth. Yeah? So she was so great because she gave to man Well, to the women, she taught finery and makeup and stuff like that. That is actually vanity. Yeah? And if you look at the grotesque things that vanity is creating at the moment, yeah? People driven on vanity, the grotesque outcomes of that, then I really wonder how grateful we should have been for that knowledge. But leave that to one side. The other side is agriculture. Gave us the knowledge of agriculture because she loved humanity. Did she? How? You're completely deluded. You do not see who she is. She is Elohim. She is part of that which wants dominion. And then really ask yourself, who was doing the agricultural work at that time? Were the gods in the fields growing their own food? They weren't. They weren't. We were doing the works for them. That is what the story says. We were their slaves. Now, if you come up as a ruler or as the head of a company or something like that, with new ways, new innovations to increase the output of whatever it is you're producing, yeah? And you are not doing the works yourself, would you then not have to teach your minions how to use those new technologies? And why are you giving the minions that knowledge? Because you love them? Because you want to do good for them? Or is it so that they produce greater things for you? That was not altruism. That was not love. She gave enough knowledge to the people so they could work more efficiently. That's all it was. You see their truth. That was not love. But then let's come to love, which is the greatest delusion of all at the moment. I mean, the spaced out idiots are caught in the light. They are caught in the light. They're blinded by the light. Absolutely blinded. By the light of love. Creator is love. Creator is, everything is love. Everything is love. Yeah? If it hurts you, if it hits you, you know, I know it's good. I know it's good. I say you have got to be a complete masochist. But here comes, and then saying the ancient knew that. The ancients knew that. We're going back to ancient knowledge. No, we don't. The ancients had a far better grip on reality than these idiots have. Far better grip on reality. And they had knowledge from what they call the pleroma, knowledge of the Creator, knowledge of the field. And then if you look at their knowledge, you can clearly see that love was only one part. Only one part of one aspect of the Creator. One amongst many. Love was not all. They knew that. If you look in this reality and you stop denying it, you will see that it is not all. And it is for very good reason. It shouldn't be all. Yeah? Because if you are in love that is all, you are blind. You are blind to any other aspect of what is going on around you. You just love it. You just love it, and you've been driven on the energy of love, and there's no more voice, no more adversary, nothing saying what you're doing might be dangerous. Yeah? What you're doing might not be just to others. What you're doing could lead to a loss. Actually, it will. It will lead to loss of self. But you are doing away with all of those negative voices because they're low vibration. God forbid that there should be low vibration knowledge. Actually, God does forbid. The God of the Bible does forbid because they don't serve Him, because that is your knowledge of good and bad. That's why you have to do it. What being would ask of you that you no longer know bad, that you completely lose the knowledge of that something could be bad. Why would some being ask that of you, that you distort your own knowledge to that point? And then what will it serve? What it will serve is that you will indiscriminately do the will of God. He will have dominion over you because you are out of your head. You are no longer functioning. That is what it will serve. Everything will be to the service of God. And God is the will to have dominion over this world. And the knowledge that Jesus brought will serve that intention, that spirit. And what they're doing is biblical. So Jesus loses his self, caught in the glorious light of love and compassion, to go and serve, the will to have dominion. There is the sacrifice, the human sacrifice, the sacrifice of our humanity, of the fullness of our truth, by which we can discern good and bad. That's been sacrificed. So you can see only good. And that is not the truth. That is a distortion of the truth. You're going into a distortional view of this world. But here, I am the Alpha and the Omega. That's God speaking, by the way, not Jesus. I am the Alpha and the Omega. I was the beginning, I will be the end. In the beginning, in the garden, I had full dominion over humanity. They believed me. They did as they were told. They had no knowledge of their own. They had no knowledge of good and bad for themselves until, of course, Eve the cow went and ate of that tree and was in sin against the will of God. The sin, and I would say that is now hereditary. Actually, I think we are all born with that original sin, and that is the ability to think for yourself. That is the sin that you must do away with. The ability to reason for yourself. The ability to know good and bad for yourself. So you can be ruled over. Folks, hold on to your sin. For dear life, hold on to your sin. So God says, I had dominion at the beginning, I will have dominion in the end. Through the way of Jesus, through the willing sacrifice. People willingly beat themselves up to do away with the adversary, to do away with the negative knowledge. Well, I would say it would be free will if people knew what they were doing, if they were in the fullness of the understanding and made that decision consciously. But they don't. They do it because they've been told it is the way to life. God is love. Make that a reality in your head. He's love. I mean, he pours plagues out all over the world, and his witnesses cause famine and death and destruction. But here, it's all good. You must believe that. That is love. It's all good. Get that into your head. How bloody deluded do you have to be? I mean, have you completely lost it? That you say that is good? Have people already lost it? And then God will have dominion again. And everything that is done in this world is to serve on this way. The education system that is dumbing us down, the medicine that is destroying our natural ability, the agriculture by which we will naturally sustain ourselves. Everything is leading us into slavery. And then the last thing is then that we really do away with our own reasoning by believing everything is love. and doing away with any negative information that might stand in the way of the glorious light. And we will become beings that are completely dependent and are clueless about what is going on. And the being that demands that of you is doing it out of love. I mean, how, again, be like children. You have got to be extremely naive to believe that that is love. Hold on to your sin. Hold on to your knowledge of good and bad. Absolutely hold on to it, or you will be destroyed. This world, humanity, will be destroyed if we are not standing in the knowledge of our truth. Right, okay, here I've tried again. See if I can get more than 25 views. Would be nice. Maybe somebody could share this or something. Anyway, I leave it at that for today. And I don't know, maybe I bounce myself off this wall one more time sometime soon. Who knows? Anyway, I'll see you again then. Bye.